All right, we are now live and we're going to see these participant numbers. This is my favorite part because you see them like rolling in really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And as you're coming online, know that we can see you and there's a chat box. So let us know that you're on and say hello to us. As I'm going through Alfredo Gonzalez, longtime friend, worked with him at Visit Florida. Thank you for coming back with us. So many people coming on so quickly. I'm having a hard time picking people out to say hello to. Fernando, welcome. David Kemp, Eric, good to see you. I'm not seeing you, see your name at least. Heather from Atlantic City, you've been on most all of our webinars. Thank you for coming back in. Miami's in the house with Joe and Judith on the line. Hey, Jamie from Reno. Wish I could see your face. As everyone's logging in here, I want to just do a couple of quick notes. We've been doing these webinars for a while, so you probably are already aware of this, but up in the right-hand corner of your screen, you can have gallery view or speaker view. And if you click on speaker view, you'll be able to see everybody, or gallery view, sorry, you'll be able to see everyone, all of our pictures at one time. That makes it a little bit easier. Obviously, the chat box we see over to the right-hand side, feel free to use it. Let us know what's going on or if you have questions. But the Q&A box down at the bottom of your screen, that's where we'll really be looking for questions and taking that information. So please, share your questions there, and we will get to as many of them as we can. And if we don't get to all of your questions, we will answer them. Our panelists have agreed to take some extra time to answer these questions so we can get them back to you. We know that with these three particular panelists, you're going to have a lot of questions. I can tell you that as soon as we announced on social media who was going to be speaking today or on the panel today, you guys are rock stars, by the way, because I got emails, I got replies on social media. Kristine's a rock star. I can't wait to talk to Alberto. I haven't talked to him in forever. I saw Karla in February and I can't wait to talk to her again. So no pressure, but you guys, they were really excited to see your names. So we're going to go ahead and get started as more people are logging in here. Anyone new to the webinar, my name is Geary Bailey. I'm with Connect Travel. We started doing these webinars a couple of months ago. This is our 8th webinar, which I can't believe. But truly, we did them as a way to stay in touch, to stay engaged with our industry and to keep people talking. And as a group and community, as a tourism community, to figure out how we recover from this together. I'd like to thank Tour Operator Land and Betsy Cooper, because without Betsy Cooper and Tour Operator Land sponsoring our webinars, they make it a little more difficult. So call Betsy, go to touroperatorland.com, learn a little bit more about it. She'll be happy to walk you through everything. And without further ado, I would like to introduce our panelists. So we have Kristine Geary, who is the president and CEO of Maple Leaf Tours. She is representing well with her Canada shirt on. Kristine, thank you for being here.
Happy to join.
Alberto Cervera is the head of Mexico for TUI Group, but also is responsible for all of the business development for North America and the Caribbean. So Alberto, nice to see your face. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody.
And Karla, Urias, I knew I was going to say I practiced in everything. Urias is with Passport Travel. Karla, you were with us in February at our show at Connect Travel Marketplace. Thank you again for jumping on the call to talk with us a little bit more, who is the owner of Passport Travel. So everyone, how are you doing? That's always my first question. How's everyone doing? Kristine, tell us a little bit about your company and what's going on for you.
Well, we're a Canadian outbound tour operator, and we've really been in survival mode. You know, it's been refund, refund, refund. And, you know, I think initially, you know, I was reading through the questions that we're going to address. And I think initially when our clients, you know, when this all began, I think the whole, you know, motto of, you know, don't cancel, rebook. I think people were a little more inclined to do that, but I think as time has progressed and it's gotten longer in duration, we're finding that more and more of our clients are now wanting refunds, because I think when it my view and what I'm hearing and seeing is that when it initially hit, people thought, okay, we're going to get into this, we're going to do what it takes, we're going to do our physical distancing, and then we'll be done. And, you know, as it has progressed and now we're in week 8, people are clients and the public in my area and other webinars that I've been on are now getting more and more concerned about a second wave and how long this will actually go. And so we're actually getting more requests for refunds for people that have had credits, because they're just not confident that this is going to go away as quickly as we had initially hoped. So, you know, I think we're just in survival mode to try and keep up, I guess, a brave face, a positive outlook. I mean, we've been, as our company, we've been reaching out to all of our clients, keeping in regular contact with them, making phone calls. You know, it's a relationship, just like our suppliers, like our DMOs, you know, like Kelly from Ottawa Tourism, or, you know, Colleen from Memphis, or, you know, Luana from Nashville, you know, have been reaching out. Amy from Geary Hotels, just, you know, as partners, saying, you know, how are you doing? We're here for you. Are you okay? You know, I think from the business side of things, I've just been really touched by my tourism family. I'm going to get emotional. It's crazy, but it's just the support. Jim from Virginia.
We are definitely tourism strong. I agree with you there.
A lot of support from you.
Tell us how you're doing. How is Passport Travel?
I think it's the same way as Kristine says. It's kind of surviving mode, and we also are having more requests for refunds, and the people that at the beginning make a change, now they are starting to ask for a request for a refund. Yeah. And we cannot push those clients because we are in the same ship. I know, we know the way they feel, and I don't believe the way to survive is with that money. I mean, I prefer to refund, as Kristine says, and stay in survive mode and see what happens. I think it's the same thing for all of us, and I guess all of the people that are here with us today can understand about this feeling. I guess it's the same feeling for all of us.
Absolutely. And I know that, and Kristine may have mentioned, she is mostly groups. So you're about 80% group business. Karla, you're mostly FIT business as well. And some group business. More FIT. And Alberto, how is TUI Group Mexico? I know that you guys are working on a lot of projects and trying to figure out how to move forward. So in addition to the FITs that you do outbound out of Mexico, I know that you manage a lot of operational sites for the cruise line.
So thank you very much, Sherry. Hi, Kristine. Hi, Karla, and hi, everybody. Thank you for joining, and thank you for inviting us. I mean, there's not a lot more to say in terms of the survival mode of everyone, but I would like to be kind of a little bit the disruptive one here. I think the survival mode for us is gone. It was the first weeks. Yes, we still have problems. We still have to refund. But right now we are focusing 150% of our energies in reinventing ourselves and reinventing our business, trying to figure out what this will look like within 1 week, within 1 month, within 1 year, trying to use this not as a tragedy, because obviously it's a social, it's an economic and a health tragedy, but it's also an opportunity to see things in a very different way, to try to do things in a different way. How do we really want to satisfy our clients? What products do we want to sell? What services do we want to sell? How do we want to distribute? So there's much more questions there than just trying to survive. Obviously, for a lot of us, it's very, very difficult, and we're looking and counting, including ourselves, every single penny, and we still keep on doing that. But we also have to use this time being at home, trying to be reflexive, trying to be reflective, trying to figure out things, and using the time for the things that we never do. We are completely immersed in what we do in our daily delivery, in our P&Ls, in our suppliers, in banks and everything, and we don't get to think about what we do, why do we do it, and for who do we do it. And I think this is the right time to start thinking, and not leave it just on the table or in the head in one piece of paper, but also start thinking how to implement these new ideas.
That's an excellent point. I've had several conversations with people that tell me they're busier than they've ever been, doing those things that you just talked about, reviewing policies and procedures and new routes and new destinations and the way that they distribute. So thank you for sharing that. And I know, Kristine, you had something you wanted to share.
I just wanted to share, I agree, it's reinventing yourself is really something that we should be focusing on. The challenge is that the finish line is always changing. The goalposts are moving. And so it's very hard, in other tour operators that I'm speaking to, because we're all talking to each other. We're all having our own Zooms. Somebody will call and say, what are you doing now? Like, what are you running until? When have you pulled everything? Like, when do you expect to see, the wheels on the buses turning again? And so, at first we think, okay, well, let's look at July. Well, shit, that's gone. It's a really hard thing. I mean, yes, we're looking at 2021 and 2022, but I mean, we're eager to get, to get things rolling. I mean, the border's closed, so that's not an option for us anytime soon. Obviously we'll be focusing on Canadian product sooner rather than later. But again, I'm groups. I know that Karla is FIT and, TUI is a different product, but we're motor coach. I was on an ABA webinar. I was on another NTA webinar, and we want to get those, bums and buses. We want to get those people rolling. What does that mean? And when do we see that as happening? And that's the problem, because the rules are always changing weekly, daily. We've got hotel space that, we have booked in September. And like I was saying, Karla, like, people are worried now that it doesn't look like September is going to be happening. Holland America and Princess they just canceled all of their sailings through to the end of the summer. Right. So now everybody's thinking, okay, well, that's off. Everybody's trying to, it's funny because everybody's trying to see what the other person's doing or what the other person's going to guess. And it's really a guessing game. The hope was that by September, we would have our groups back down in Nashville, but we're having people cancel, saying, we've been holding that money with you and we don't really think it's going to happen. And we're saying, would you like to switch to Nashville Christmas? Would you like to push to November? And they're like, nope. So we're refunding. Again, we're still refunding. And, we're a boat that's moving forward, but we're bailing, as quickly as we can. I mean, we're very fortunate. We're a very strong financial company. We will weather this. I know others aren't as lucky as we are, but it's a guessing game when we're looking at how we're going to not even reinvent, but how we're going to move forward. Reinventing 21, 22. Yes, absolutely reinventing. And this is the time, to do that now. Honestly, I've never been in the office this much. I don't even know what the hell to do. I mean, working obviously, but I'm used to being on the road.
right? I think we all are. Everyone on this call is used to being on the road. And that brings up a good point. You mentioned borders, and I know with motor coach business, that is a huge challenge for you. And Karla and Alberto, I'm assuming borders for you, most of your business is on flights.
Yes.
Is that, and certainly flight business is affecting you right now. How do you feel, pulling off of that border closing, and what are your partners telling you about flights and opening back up and increased service? Have you heard anything from your partners there? I think, Karla, you were on a call with Aero Mexico when we talked earlier this week.
Yeah. Now that Mexico, so for us, California, it's a good destination. So for our clients, and right now that the people is going to nearby places, so this is the time to. Well, just a minute ago, I said we are in a surviving mode, not as a bad way. Of course, we are reinventing each other and trying to figure it out how it's going to be the new travel, the new way to travel. So, of course, the fly, this border closes are kind of, we need to deal with this, but at this time, nobody wants to go out. I mean, and there's no many requests at this moment because the people is waiting for. I don't know. What about you, Alberto? What you said about that?
I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit specifics for ourselves and this side of the world in terms of our own flights. And I think this is also very important for the US. In terms of receiving the TUI clients. It's most likely that before the 15th of June, there will be nothing official in terms of when are we going to reassume our flights. It might be somewhere between the 15th and the end of June, but there's nothing official. I say this very out loud. And we also do not know which source markets, and we also do not know which destinations. As you know, there are many things that are beyond our control in terms of the border closure and in terms of nationalities. Like, for example, we know now for a fact that Europe is going to be open first for Europeans only. So for the ones doing outbound into Europe, it's going to, from this side of the world, it's going to be a bit different. And but in terms of the airspace, and the capabilities of each destination in order to support each group of clients. It will depend also on the suppliers. Like, for example, right now here in Cancun, we do have open skies with the US. So we can send people to the US and the US can send people into Cancun. But not all the different suppliers in the different venues are open. So why people would want to come? We need to start thinking as a whole, as a whole machinery with all the different with all the different layers and the different parts of the chain. Because if we start thinking, or we keep on thinking on how do I do it, what do I do, what can I do to reopen my business, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. We need to start thinking as an industry, with suppliers, with every stakeholder, with clients. And the first thing, in my opinion, which was already mentioned by Kristine, we also have to keep in mind more than ever the health side of things, because opening things and just because we want to make a buck 2 weeks before, it could fire back really badly. And instead of being closed for another month, we can be closed for another 6 months. So it's time to be really clever. It's time to be, yes, we're all desperate. We want to make money. We want to help our communities. It's fair to say, I mean, obviously we want to deliver those promises of dreams come true and the experiences we all work with together with all the different suppliers that are here and partners. But we need to make sure we do it in a clever way, because just opening for opening, it doesn't make sense. Even if our governments start opening things, we need to make sure we do it in an ordered and in a very, very conscious way, and not just to make a buck for 2 weeks.
Yes, Kristine, go ahead.
Hey, it's interesting. We're talking about opening. Very good point. I think a lot of, from what I'm hearing, a lot of it is wait and see, right? I think it's a lot of follow the leader. Everybody's waiting to see what the other person's going to do. For example, the state of Florida has given Disney and Universal the green light to open when they feel confident to do so. Right? So everybody's waiting to see what that rollout is going to be, because our clients are going to get their confidence and their security from the big companies. They're going to see what is New York doing? What is the Empire State doing? What are the cruise lines doing? What is Disney doing? And then it's going to roll down to there. What is Graceland doing? What are the larger venues doing? And that's how our clients are going to see that. And that's how that confidence, I think, is going to be coming back. Right. So I think, it's like, it's the same thing when tour operators are calling or texting and saying, what do you think? What do you, when are you expecting? When should I cancel my hotel space for, my group space, like my blocks? How long should I hold on to them for? Some of my tour partners, I'll call and I'll say, do you mind if we, we'll hold on to that space in August? And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, please, let's hope it happens, because I know they want it to happen as well as we do. But I think the rollout is going to be a big, a wait and see. I just wanted, before I lose the train of thought, I was on I've been on fantastic industry webinars, and I think every one that I attend, I always think I get one nugget, and if I can take one nugget away from each of those webinars, then it's a win. And one of the webinars that I've been on this week was that it takes 3 weeks to form a habit. We've been in this now 8 weeks. So everybody's developed habits at home, right? They cook themselves. They're staying around the house. They're having in-house movies. So those habits, once this is over, are probably going to change. So the restaurant industry will probably feel it different. However, my nugget on that seminar is that people are going to want to connect, and they are going to want to travel. So after this is over and we are into our new normal, because it will be a new normal, there is going to be a strong desire to connect and to travel. So my takeaway from that was, once we are through this, on the other side, we are going to be busier and stronger than ever, because traveling isn't something you can do alone at home. So that's the optimistic takeaway that I think everybody should take away from this, because once this is over, we are going to kick ass and the travel industry is going to explode, and we need to be ready for that. I am.
I think we all are. We would love for that to happen. And I think in past, when we've seen past things like this happen on a smaller scale, we've seen the industry come back and travel stronger and want to get out and want to travel. It's something that I think is ingrained in all of us. But as we're talking about consumer confidence, how do, with border closings, do you think Canadians are going to want to come to the U.S. again? Do we think that Mexican travelers are going to want to come to the U.S. again? And in the same respect, vice versa, U.S. travelers into the other countries. Have you gotten a sense of any of that consumer confidence when you've talked to your clients, Karla? Oh,
okay,
go ahead,
I'm absolutely. The U.S. is our biggest destination. Europe is second, but the U.S. is our biggest. I think the comfort tours, in the industry, at all the shows we talk about the comfort tours, I think Nashville's going to be a comfort tour. I think that's going to continue to be strong. Graceland is a comfort tour. You're going to see that. And actually, a very interesting way that we can gauge how the market is going is we have an online survey people feed into and let us know what destinations they want. And last week they started rolling in again. We haven't seen that in quite some time. So I just got one yesterday saying we'd like to go to Gettysburg at Christmas time. And I was like, hell yeah. right? So, you know, that's how we're gauging, you know, and so we Zoom with our team and I'll say, okay, we had Gettysburg. So there's, you know, the radar is starting to move and there is some interest. So, you know, as soon as, for example, when the news hit a couple of days ago that the virus is deviating, then again, people are nervous about that setting in. So I think it's just a lot of ebbs and flows, but at least we're seeing a gauge where people are actually letting us know, yes, we want to do Gettysburg at Christmas time. Actually, Jim, I got somebody who wants to go, you know, they want to go to Virginia Beach. So that's a positive. When the border,
I love to hear that, and I know that our attendees love to hear it as well.
yeah.
Karla, what have you heard from your clients?
Well, I guess it's the same thing. I don't know, Alberto, if you hear about, well, we just have this notice yesterday about that in October, we're going to have another, one more time the virus is going to come. So during the last few days, we are having a few requests, as Kristine says, talking about maybe Thanksgiving or by Christmas or something like that. But now with this new notice, yesterday I have like, I don't know how many calls asking me about this. Nobody knows what is going to happen. But right now everybody's waiting for how it's going to be the Disney Shanghai, how they're going to do it. We are waiting for those big companies to see what is going to happen. All the people that is waiting for Disney cruises on summer, they are very nervous. What is going to happen if they will change the dates again, or if they can do it? They don't have too much information about the new rules, the new way to travel. So we don't know. So we start having more movement. Yesterday, it was a bad day for us. I mean, in Mexico, I don't know, Alberto, if that what happens to you, but for us, with this notice, it's again, it's going up and down, huh?
And I think we'll see that for a while. Alberto?
Yeah, I mean, obviously nobody has a crystal ball. That's a fact.
Wish you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know if I wish to have one because honestly, to know what's going to happen, no, thank you. But anyway, no, I mean, people will travel. It's a fact. It's a fact. And I think we need to help our clients, our users, but also respecting them in terms of how to travel. What will be the best way? Because people will still want to travel. And one thing I think we have to keep in mind is that this is the right time to really make sure that we work with the best destinations, that we work with the best venues, with the best suppliers, in order to make sure that we do not start a price war. Because people will still want to travel. And there's a lot of people saying that we're going to have a price war and that the ones that get the cheapest are the ones that are going to get the volumes, are the ones that are going to be the big winners. I completely disagree with that. I think this is the opportunity for us to showcase what we can really do, the partnerships we have, the health and safety we can provide with those partnerships. Those things are the ones that are going to take value now. And as people will still want to travel, I honestly do believe that not only will they want to travel, they will be willing to spend more to secure, to have that safety feeling. And if we can, obviously we're talking about very early stages, but if we can start using these new ideas of the COVID-19 certifications, obviously nobody can speak about COVID-free because that's complete nonsense. COVID-free will never be, but what we can do is to take the precautious measures. And if we can use this opportunity to do some other certifications and ways to showcase why people should travel with us and go to the venues and to the destinations we offer, because they are different, because they are safe, because they take care of our clients, because all the health and safety things, regulations are kept, and we will take care of them. And we're taking this new crisis serious. We're looking at the new load factors for buses, load factors for airplanes, load factors for boats, load factors for venues. So if we can put all this together in a communication that really reaches those fibers that we need to touch, and not just to go by price, this is how we will change our industry. We see this as a big challenge, and it is, but it's the greatest opportunity we've ever had in the last 100 years to reinvent ourselves, to decide how we want to do, how we want to communicate, and how do we want to fulfill those dreams. Because one core thing, the ones that have seen me talking in other, not webinars, but live shows in the past in the US, and sorry to repeat that, we have to keep in mind that we deal with one of the most precious things that every single person on this planet has, which is our free time. And we are charging our clients to give us their free time. So we have to respect that. They work all year in order to have that free time, and they are spending the money they earned in that whole year to spend it with us. So this is the opportunity to show them that we care, that we want to make this occasion, this vacation, this holiday a special thing. It's something to remember. And like that, the tourism will be back in a bit. Obviously, it will take months, but if we are sure that we do our part, and we do not only worry, when is it going to start? When is the next airline going to open the flights? Let's see the whole picture. Let's understand this as a whole industry. And talking about the question, what do I think about Interjet, Aeromexico, and so on, opening flights to the US? Some of them are already open, and not only the Mexican airlines. Most of the US airlines are still flying between Mexico and the US, but the big problem is what I said before. It's not about being able to be there, it's what are you going to do there? So it's not as simple as just the connectivity. It's the whole package. It's the whole industry. And we need to make sure that once we start, we have everything. Because if we start halfway, those already traveling, their experience will be bad. And the word of mouth, it's going to hurt us more than waiting a little bit more.
No, I couldn't agree more. And thank you for the reminder that we work in vacations and fun and people's time. And I think everyone takes that very seriously, but we need that reminder here and there. Part of opening at the right time, part of creating the right thing is safety protocols. And everyone has mentioned that. And that plays into consumer confidence and individuals wanting to travel again. And I'm going to come to each of you for this on if any of your safety protocols have changed. Kristine, let's start with you. I know you're thinking about it.
I'm not even on safety protocols. I'm not even there yet. That's going to be the bus side of things. I didn't want, that's the bus operators. They can handle that. But I didn't want to get away. I just know we have a lot of suppliers here, and I know a lot of them. But I did want them to have takeaways about what they can do for tour operators to help us. 3 things that are going to be awesome. Are y'all listening? Good. Number 1, the exchange rate. That's going to be really tough, because when we planned this product, last year, we weren't planning it and we weren't budgeting at the exchange rate that it currently is. So a lot of your tour operators are going to be looking at you to maybe be a little more flexible on your rates, because what the exchange rate was 12 months ago is certainly not what it is now, and what the product rolled out for the end of this year and next year is. So you might not have given that any thought, but as far as Canadian operators, that's a big thing. Flexibility on your hotel space. Some of you, Marriott is 45 days, and attrition, like the rates, those sort of terms have to become a little more flexible, because we've got some hotels that are saying, what, if you can't give us 45 days notice, you're out. So I think if you have hotel space and you have groups that are really trying to work with you, if you can be a little more flexible on those terms or even your rates, that would be awesome. And the third thing, I think, which would be big if any of you you know, DMOs or suppliers could do is send us videos, images, videos. If you check out the Maple Leaf Tour Facebook page, if you check out our Instagram page or even our LinkedIn page, we are clicking through to a lot of videos. I think I just had the Metropolitan Museum of Art, a live tour. I just had, they streamed the opera, the Met Opera live. So I know the Henry Ford Museum now has a video that you can click on your website, you can attach to your itineraries. So what we're trying to do as tour operators is keep travel top of mind to our clients. So for all of you suppliers that are out there, you can check our website, mapleleaftours.com. You can email me, Kristine at mapleleaftours.com. Send us those videos because we know you have them in your arsenal. And we can easily put those into our Facebook page or the newsletters that we send out to our clients, because we're not wanting to sell them. We're wanting to give them a soft touch to say, hey, we're here. Why don't you come out and check out Virginia Beach? And I know, Jim, I just saw your video on LinkedIn. Brilliant. You know, but I can't link it from there. But if you send us directly those links, then as tour operators, we can fan those out to all of our guests to keep travel top of mind, so that when this does, when we come out the other side, we'll still be there. You know, Virginia Beach or Las Vegas or Nashville or Florida or Myrtle Beach will all be top of mind because we've done the best we can to keep in their psyche, and they're all happy thoughts and happy travels. So if you could do those three things, I'd be a happy camper, and I know other tour operators would be too. So there's your other takeaway.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And on some of our past webinars, and we have many return guests with us, we've talked about virtual fam tours and virtual site inspections and creating video to get out to all of the operators. So everyone on this webinar, I think you have 3 more people that you can send information to and make sure that they have everything that you're looking for. So I mean, if we continue with that marketing conversation for a moment, let's shift into marketing and what we can do to help with each other. What, you know, you're sending information to your clients, Kristine. Karla, what are you sending out to your clients right now to keep them engaged? And is there anything that we can work on together? Or if you have messages in the same respect that you're putting it on your Facebook page or your social media, can our attendees, can the suppliers share that message and help push your message out?
Yeah, it's a good message for us. As Kristine says, it's a very good time to share those images about the different places, trying not to sell the whole time because we are not in that time yet. We are talking about some promotions or some good deals in the different places once in a while, not all the time. But it's a very good time to do this. We are trying to do many or some activities where our clients trying to get those impressions from them. What is those feelings, and trying to understand how it's gonna be this new area.
Wonderful. Alberto, in all of those fun conversations you're having about new product, are there marketing conversations with suppliers and how they can get involved?
I mean, for the US in particular, I think it's important for me to say that all the partners that are here can reach out later to Sherry for the contact details of our DMC contact details in the US. Most of you should already know Sharon Johnston, who is based in Orlando. But anyway, in terms of marketing, I mean, there's a lot of things that go related in this case, which is also the refund part that was mentioned in the beginning. As everybody else, we're trying to try to inspire people with videos and all different things and new products and new experiences, more than products, actually new experiences. May it be in a hotel, in a venue, in an excursion, in whatever. And trying them to rebook. It's obviously very hard and very difficult to tell them when. Our expectations are that decent volumes will only be here until the winter 2021. Because for summer, I mean, there's still so many unanswered questions that we all have, everyone that is here. So it's very hard to say whether it's going to be June, July, August, and which cities, which destinations, and to what extent with each one of those destinations. So we have a couple of campaigns already running in Europe. And they are all based in inspiring people. And people do not stop. The main campaign, the umbrella campaign, it's do not stop dreaming. Dreaming about travel, dreaming about holidays, and you can see it in most of our source markets in the different web pages. And in the end, we are an industry that lives from dreams. So what we have to do, whatever means we use, obviously I fully agree with Kristine and with Karla about the video side and the imaging side, but it all has to be inspiring. Sometimes a video is very inspiring, sometimes an image is very inspiring, but even sometimes just a line can be also very inspiring. So we need to find ways to inspire people so they don't lose the way we say the way they say in Germany, the Wanderlust, you know, Wanderlust. This eager need or necessity for us to discover new cultures, to discover new destinations. And we need to make sure that we remain at top of mind. And by we, I mean the travel industry. I don't mean any company or any destination, that we remain in people's minds.
And I agree. It's very good, Alberto. I think, you know, in order to be top of mind, because when we are through this is another nugget. People are going to come out of this with different spending habits. They are not going to be collecting things or buying stuff. They are going to be wanting experiences, and they will never take their free time for granted again.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. And building on that, they're going to have different spending habits. Are they going to have different travel habits? Are they going to look for smaller destinations versus larger destinations, outdoor, closer to home? Have you been hearing anything like that, Karla?
I have. In Canada, I think we're going to start, you know, we're just above upstate New York, and that's a hot spot. And British Columbia is above Washington State, which is also a hot spot. Right. So I think, you know, from what we're hearing in our area, that it's going to start slowly in the Canadian area with Niagara Falls, Ottawa, Montreal, and the Maritimes. Once the border opens, I think I believe our U.S. travel is going to roar back. And I think people are going to do more. They're going to go farther, because some people who, you know, took their children on a holiday and now when they're sitting, they've been at home for 8 weeks. They're remembering the wonderful times they had, you know, in Myrtle Beach or in, you know, Florida or, you know, California, and going, oh my God, we should have done more of that. And they're going to do more of that. They're going to start small. They're going to start close to home. And then they are going to, once there's a vaccine, it's going to be crazy. This was, sorry to talk so much, but I know we're running out of time. We've only got 15 more minutes, but I was on a webinar on Wednesday or Tuesday, and the gentleman, it was all about finances and how to streamline and struggle, not struggle, but to really, you know, tighten your strings, because we're going to be in this for a bit. And there were a bunch of people, there were operators and attractions. And so he had said, you know, what does everybody do? And I typed in and I said, I'm a tour operator in Canada. He said, well, you can take a year off. And I went, wait, what? He said, you know, it's not going to come roaring back big for a year. It's going to start small, but be ready because everyone is going to want to travel. And I believe that, you know, I didn't want to hear that, but I think it is a truth that it's going to be baby steps, and then everybody's going to be jumping right in because they're going to remember. I do. I sit back and I remember being, you know, in Graceland with the group. I remember being in Ireland with my group, and you know, we have people calling in saying that was the best time. It gets me through my picture of singing in Studio B in Nashville. It gets me through every day and those memories of travel. So people who are cooped up now are going to be wanting to make those memories because they know once they're older and they're at home, or if this happens down the road, that they'll always have those memories. And I think we need to be ready for that. I think the future is bright. We just have to get through this.
Absolutely. And let me say, Kristine, that I love looking at your social media and seeing you post all of the pictures of those trips that you've been on. They're really, really fun. You do a great job of that. Karla, what any change in travel pattern?
Yes, the most that we have is international travel. So right now they're looking for nearby places, as I said, and they are now looking for Mexican places that never asked before. And for us, that we are on the north side of Mexico, as I told you, and if I saw there's a few partners from California with us. So for all of you, if you can send us any more than videos, any notice about how it's gonna be the new way to travel, or any notice about the parks, new rules in the hotels, this new thing about the COVID-free at the hotels, any notice that you have, it's gonna be very good for us to share with our clients, because for us, it's a very nearby place, California. So if you have something to share, please send it to us.
I agree. That's an awesome point, Karla, because if you agree, anything positive, send it to us and we can fan it out. For example, Air Canada, I don't know if anybody's followed this, but Air Canada just launched this week that they're starting this new clean air program. And they're going to have limited flights, reduced space, but everybody's having their temperature taken as they board the flight. They're given packets that have masks, that have hand sanitizer. So you're getting that. They're rolling this out to see how that parlays. So that's something.
Oh, absolutely. I think
that I'm going to make people.
Point, we've talked a lot about how important communication is. And we need to continue that with updates, with information, with safety protocol that your attraction or your hotel or your destination might have. An interesting question just came in that from Kurt, and thank you very much, Kurt. You know, what are tour directors, planners, operators, you know, what are you looking for from a destination? Are you looking for specific messaging from entities within their city, or any mandates from cities? You know, anything that, and this is also, Alberto, I'm pulling off of something you said about wanting to make sure that when you roll this out, you're doing it well and you're doing it with destinations that partner with you. So how can they in really partner with you to get the messaging out? What are you looking for from them? I think you're on mute, Alberto.
Sorry, I was on mute, as you said. I think that's the $1 million question. And I also said a few minutes ago that we're on very early stages. Not until we have official certifications and official guidelines, maybe from the World Travel Organization or World Health Organization or the WTTC or somebody that really has a name, because obviously right now we can do things on a separate way in terms of every supplier, every destination can do something. But in the end, it's going to be just like a rainfall of different ideas, different initiatives, and it's going to be very hard to consolidate them. Right now, to be very honest, us as TUI, we are working on very different measures that we're going to take, as I already mentioned, in terms of load factor and how to enter venues, even how to enter restaurants. We're talking to different hotels in terms of how are the buffets are going to look like now. Is there going to be even buffets or not? We don't know that. Is all inclusive still going to be there? We don't know. I suppose it will be there, but it will change. These huge restaurants where you can fit in 500 people at a time, I don't think that's going to be the new normal. I really don't. But I don't know, maybe with different guidelines, and once we know more about the virus itself, and not only about this virus, about spreading viruses and other diseases, things will start changing. Right now, the only thing we need to make sure is that as far as what we know, and let's make sure that we have official sources for that in terms of sanitizers, in terms of head masks, face masks, and so on, that we use them and we get prepared. But one thing I would really encourage for all the different suppliers that are here, don't start making panic purchases in terms of sanitizers or quick tests, because we don't know if they're really going to be used. So let's not try to go so much ahead of the curve. We need to be ready. We need to have maybe the contacts for those suppliers ready for basic things like hand sanitizers and gloves and things like that. Yes, but like for example, here in Mexico or in Cancun and also in Dominican Republic, we've been hearing that even for entering restaurants, you will have to have a quick test for coronavirus before entering. So imagine if you go from a restaurant to a bar and then to the movies within one day, you're going to spend $100 just in tests because you wanted to go into those places. So obviously, I really don't think that that will be the new normal. Things like that will come in place, but let's not panic and don't go ahead of ourselves. And let's try to keep positive, because the business will come back. People will be more eager to travel. I fully agree, and Kristine and I have been saying it. People will want more experiences. People will forget about owning the fastest car and the biggest house, and start looking or taking things for granted. Let's live. The only thing, you cannot take the car or the house to the grave, but you will be probably, we don't know, I have never died before, but I suppose you can take your memories but with you. But in the end, it's about living life in a new way, trying to make the best out of it, and quoting the Dead Poet Society, sizing the day. It's about sizing the day, and we are the industry that helps people size the day.
Absolutely. Yes, Kristine.
I just wanted to address Kurt.
Yes.
His question was, what can they do? I said the one thing already, Kurt, was send positive images, positive videos, anything positive that we can share. It can be an image, and it can say, you know, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, or, you know, it can say, you know, the Ark. It doesn't really matter, but something that we can share that's top of mind. I wanted to say for suppliers, anytime you email any tour operator, we are inundated with emails. Unbelievable. COVID-19 update, COVID-19, the mailbox is full. So make sure, this is another nugget, make sure that you make your subject line relevant to what you're sending, because if not, it'll just go to the deleted pile because there's so many. So if I get something from Sight and Sound, which I get a lot of, but if you get something from Sight and Sound Theater and it doesn't, you know, it just says COVID update, okay, fine, you're closed still, delete. I don't even open it. So make sure that your subject line is relevant. You know, awesome videos to share with your client, great pics to share with your client, right? We care, we're here, but make it really relevant in the subject line. There's a nugget, because you'll get tour operators looking at it, opening it, and using it. There you go, Kurt.
And also those videos that you can share us from your cellular, I mean, from your own mobile, yeah. Because the people want to see those images, not just very professional videos or pictures. They're very happy with those images that now we have, because we are giving a break to the nature. So that's very good images that we are having. So share all that images, not just nice ones, because you can have more than that in your own phone.
Yeah. We only have 5 minutes left.
I know. I promised you guys it would go really fast. So really quickly, and Alberto, you talked on this. You spoke about this with really not needing to discount price, but creating the best experience, and that's what your clients would be looking for. We've seen 9/11, hurricanes, oil spills, things that have happened before. Instinctively, they look for value adds. So what can attractions or hotels or or destinations as just a helpful experience, what can they do that doesn't necessarily devalue your program but add to it? Is there anything that works better for any of you?
I mean, I would say the first thing is acknowledge the value of your service, of your product. And I'm going to answer a little bit rude. I'm not going to do the homework for every single one of the suppliers in here. You know your product, you know your destination, you know your area. So think outside the box. Think of what already works, but what can you add or what can you take away so the value perception is higher. Remember that value is not something that you can measure, it's what people perceive. You can tell me that that one thing is worth $100 to you, but for someone else it will be $1,000, and for another person it will be $50. So make sure who is your target group, what are your clients, and what is it that you want to give them with that experience you're part of. If you're a hotel, if you're a venue, if you're an excursion supplier, think outside the box and make sure you compete by either one of three things: differentiation, exclusivity, and what we normally like to call the local touch. What is it that you give that the others cannot give? It doesn't matter what you do. Just think, what is it that your service or your product can, and how can they enhance the experience of every single client that are there, and how you communicate. Because the second most important part is how you communicate. Because if you don't deliver on the value promise, then we have a big problem. And on the other hand, if you don't communicate right and you're not able to communicate how much value you're delivering, people won't be close to you. So you have to find the right balance between overselling and underselling, obviously by telling the truth, but make sure that that message is well received in a perceived way, not the way you see it, but the way your clients would want to see it, and how would they be inspired for them to purchase and have that experience with you.
Fabulous. Thank you. That's excellent. And Kristine and Karla, do you agree? Do you have anything to add? Karla?
I think, to sum it up, just remember that we will bounce back. I know I'm getting calls and emails from people saying, what can we do? What can we add value? To me, that's a little bit the cart ahead of the horse. We just need to get rolling first to see how everything is going to roll out, how the motor coach industry is going to roll out. Because for us in the tour operator business, that's massive. Because once there's a protocol set out for that we can go get to our clients, then I think it's going to be where we're rolling. We're looking at the exchange rates. We're looking at, there's onboard meet and greets. People say, well, we'll give you cookies. We'll give you a step-on guide. We'll give you pins. Right now our clients are still in isolation mode. So, if I send them, what, we can go to the guest house at Graceland and you'll get a cookie on arrival. They're going to be like, I want a glass of wine right now. Screw the cookie. Right? So I think, I'm not
understand.
I could use one. I could use one glass of wine.
Right? We need to make this a virtual happy hour.
Exactly. Change the whole timing.
But honestly, travel will come back. People will want connection. They will want to belong, to experience, to live and make memories, and we're going to be there ready for them, all of us. So let's continue to support each other. Really appreciate all my suppliers. Thank you to the other panelists for taking your time. You know what? We inspire each other, we raise each other, and we got this.
Absolutely. Karla, do you have any last minute thoughts? That was awesome, Kristine.
Yeah, thank you. Well, as the author says, we need to be together. And for me, it's going to be two new realities. The one that is after or before the vaccine, and the other one is going to be after that. But let's reinvent it, and let's think about those services that we offer, as Alberto says. And it's time to be better. We have now the time to get more knowledge and think about how we are doing our things, and now be better. So let's keep together.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And Alberto, any last thoughts?
No, just thank you very much again, Sherry and Betsy. Again, I know you're there somewhere, Betsy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kristine. Thank you, Karla. And all the participants, thank you for listening to us. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. And let's keep on fighting, guys. We know what we're doing. We love what we do. We will not get rich out of this, and we do it because we love it. And so let's keep on fighting. Let's keep on delivering. And let's be proud that we work in one of the nicest industries in the world, because we work with dreams and we create dreams, and we create them only together. And thanks to you, we can send our clients to all your different venues, to all your different destinations. So thank you very much, and let's keep on making dreams come true.
Thank you so much. Three amazing thought leaders in this industry. I could not be happier that you agreed to be on the panel today. Kristine, Karla, Alberto, thank you so very much. You are going to have tons of emails with lots of information, I have no doubt in my mind, but they're going to have it in the right way for you, Kristine, because you let them know. I would also like to add thank you to all of our suppliers, all of the attendees for the webinars that keep coming back week after week. Tomorrow we have added a webinar with Timo from America Unlimited in Germany. He wanted to do a follow-up to his webinar that he did a couple weeks ago to expand on the unusual, unique marketing ideas that you can do with him, with any of your partners, and he wants you to steal the ideas and use them to help with the recovery process. So please tune in tomorrow with Timo. And next week we will be working, talking with international operators again. And LV Cal, VP of Product for Travel Brands, will be joining us next week. So we look forward to continuing to do these, to keeping our industry connected and engaged with each other. These virtual roundtables have been very insightful. And again, to our panelists, thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.